Hello, and welcome to the Orthodontic Products Podcast. I'm your host, Allison Werner. On this episode, sponsored by OrthoFX, I'm going to talk to the company's president and co-founder, Menon, about OrthoFX's product line and service expansion in recent years. We'll talk about its latest aligner innovations and what doctors can expect from the company's full-service model that integrates remote monitoring, financing, and marketing to make it more than just an aligner company. Ren, thanks for joining me.
Allison, thank you so much for having me. It's my pleasure and honor to be here.
Great.
Thank you.
Great. So let's talk about how OrthoFX's product portfolio has expanded rapidly over the last few years. How are you balancing kind of that innovation with the need for clinical consistency across different aligner options? Because you do offer 3 now that I know of.
Yeah, actually, that's a fourth.
Okay.
That's a great question. And it's something that we think about a lot. Our portfolio definitely has grown quickly, but we've been very deliberate in how we go about doing it. For us, clinical consistency isn't something that holds back innovation. It's actually the very foundation of what makes it possible. Everything that we are creating is built around helping orthodontists deliver the outcomes that they really can count on, treatment after treatment. We started, if you think back to 2020, we started with the traditional 22-hour wear system.
Right.
We call it FXClear. To make sure we had a strong clinical foundation, we had a base set of cases that way we had a good understanding on what is tracking, how's the polymer working with a treatment planning software, how the interplay of that is so important. Once that was in place and performing the way we wanted, we launched AirFlex, which has been a real game changer.
Yeah.
I'm sure you know, Allison, if you take a look at our website, this is the first FDA-cleared aligner system for 9 to 12 hours of wear a day with
Right.
no increase in treatment duration.
Mm-hmm.
It's about half the time of standard aligners. Here's the best part. 89.4% of our cases, and this is across thousands of finished cases,
Yeah.
they finish with 1 or no refinements. That means fewer surprise visits for patients and doctors and more confidence in the original treatment plan. So as we kept listening to doctors and patients during this journey, it became clear to us that the industry model of one size fits all is not what they're looking for. This is why we have a lineup of products and options. They're designed for different lifestyles and different preferences. So let me just give you just a quick headline on the 3 polymers that we have. So FX Clear is our, we used to call it Tetra. FX Clear is a rebrand. It's our ultra transparent stain-resistant option. It's got a smooth scalloped edge. It's great for patients who want something discreet and they're okay with the 20-hour wear. It is great for orthodontists also because we offer this at a price parity or in many cases at a competitive price versus what they're getting their leading brand for today. FX Bright, the problem with orthodontics always has been the delayed gratification. And today, as you know, we are living in the world of Instagram, Instacart, Right. Everything.
Mm-hmm.
FX Bright gives you that instant lift from orthodontics. It's an aligner that is built in with natural whitening. It mimics the enamel of your teeth. So it makes your teeth look whiter right from the start. No gels are needed. This one also follows the 20-hour wear schedule. And of course, AirFlex, it's perfect for patients who need more flexibility in their daily routine. So yeah, you're right. The portfolio has grown, but the goal really hasn't changed. We want to give doctors more tools to work with and patients more choices without ever compromising the baseline of our innovation, the foundation bedrock of our innovation, which is clinical consistency and predictability.
Yeah. Well, speaking of giving doctors more tools, you've built OrthoFX around this concept of a full service model that kind of goes beyond that manufacturing of aligners that I talked about in my intro. What led you to develop that system that kind of includes everything from remote monitoring to the financing to the marketing that you now have?
Yeah. So if you spend time in an orthodontic practice or a dental practice, you will see that they're juggling so much beyond just clinical care. We set out and we told ourselves from the ground up that we want orthodontists to be orthodontists, which means that we want them to be focused. We want them to focus on the one thing that they went to school for and the one thing that they love doing, which is providing awesome care to their patients, providing quality clinical care and reliable outcomes to their patients. But then they're not able to do that today because they're juggling these things. They have to do case management, they have to finance patients, they have to communicate to patients to bring them back, they have to file for insurance claims. It all adds up and it creates friction. So today, they have to log into 8 different systems, make 8 different payments, 8 different providers are providing it. And this is a situation that we wanted to avoid. So right from the beginning, we knew that we did not want to be just another aligner company. So we asked ourselves as to what could we do to take some of that weight off their shoulders, that way they can focus on providing clinical care.
Mm-hmm.
So that's really the thought or the idea behind the full service model. Like you said, we integrate things like remote monitoring, financing tools, and even marketing support. We're not just handing a box of aligners. We are helping doctors grow their practice and help them deliver a more seamless experience to their patients, focusing their entire time on patient care. With OrthoFX, you can see, like if you log into our portal from a single login and from a single patient list, that they can access all these services at no additional cost. We wanted to make sure that we were clear on that too. We wanted to make sure that we are a true partner to the doctor, or I would say their best preferred partner, and not just another vendor who's just out there to sell like gadgets or widgets. So this was the foundation, and that's essentially what you are seeing being manifested as a full service solution as our platform.
Talk to me about, patient expectations around aligner treatment have kind of shifted significantly. What trends are you seeing in terms of how patients choose providers, and how is OrthoFX helping practices meet those expectations?
Mm. That's a really good question, Allison. Yeah, I think there are a couple of ways that we can think about that. I can answer that question. So patient expectations have definitely evolved. As it's just today's patients, they're looking for convenience. They're looking for flexibility. It's not like, just they don't want to be boxed into a certain model and that only. And they really are looking for results that match what they were promised and without a lot of hassle. So, and if they have, like, in this world of people connected by, I would say, 3 degrees of separation, if they have a great experience, that makes them more likely to refer other patients, which is at the very foundation of practice growth.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where we really focus at OrthoFX, helping practices not just meet those expectations, but exceed them by a mile. So, like, for example, let's take AirFlex. This is our most advanced aligner system. So if you look at AirFlex, it is the only aligner that is designed with a multi-shell construction. So you have an inner shell and an outer shell, and the aligner is bonded just at the edges with a pocket of air in between.
Okay.
It's called, the construction itself is called air shell. It's a patented technology that we invented. It makes the aligner hyperelastic, which means that we are able to deliver consistent optimal forces irrespective of the strain on the aligner, which creates a very efficient optimal tooth movement, which means that treatments are going to finish on time. So results, 89.4% of our cases finish with 0 to 1 refinement. If you look at that number, and 60% of cases finish with no refinements. If you look at that same number for the leading brand, and you can look at this from Dr. Neil Kravitz's article, only about 6% of cases with the leading brand finish with no refinements. Mm-hmm. Ours is 60%. So talk of 10x improvement, that's like right there. So the other aspect that I want to highlight is about tools that we built to make treatments easier and more convenient while they're going through the treatment. So our remote monitoring solution, we call it FXOnTrack. This is where that comes into the picture. So it lets patients check in from their home while keeping the doctor fully in the loop. It helps patients engage, it keeps patients engaged, and also it saves time, and they love having to not go in unless they have to. And, so the beauty of FXOnTrack, unlike other solutions in the market, is that it is the only closed loop system. So FXOnTrack is not just detecting a problem. Say treatment is going off track. We have, you talked about 3 polymers. There's a 4th option we have. It's called a rescue aligner. That's where rescue aligner comes in.
Okay.
So instead of waiting weeks to figure things out, we can get patients back on track quickly without having to reset the whole treatment plan using this one aligner, which has the ability to correct up to 6 to 8 weeks of deviation from plan, which we ship to the patient's home upon doctor's request. So that's the second pillar that I want to highlight. And the last thing I want to highlight is, of course, it's affordability is a key concern, especially in the way the economic environment is. Always has been. It continues to be. This is why FXPay, our financing program, is also built into it to provide patients affordability and more access to care with a very low down payment and in many cases, no fee to the doctor or a low fee compared to other financing solutions. So, to bring it all together, Allison, it's all about helping practices deliver what they promised on time, like without all these reboots and refinements, call it whatever, and with a lot less friction. And finally, give doctors and patients an aligner experience that they're truly excited about, not something that they are tolerating because I don't have another option or this is the only game in town. We want people to be excited about their treatment, and that's what we are trying to deliver with our solution.
So I'm kind of curious about where a lot of companies are talking about AI these days, and I'm kind of curious about how AI is integrated across your workflow. Now, I know it's kind of there from the treatment planning to that follow-up. In your view, where is AI making that biggest difference for private practice orthodontists right now?
Yeah. That's a great question, very time relevant. So AI is it's definitely becoming a very powerful tool for private practice orthodontists. And we are fortunate to build OrthoFX in the 2020s, where we could build the platform right from the ground up with an AI mindset, as opposed to other brands having to rewire their dated infrastructure to fit within the AI world. So we built the platform right from the ground up with AI as a backbone and as a horizontal across all the services and all the products that we offer. And one of the, I'll double click on a couple of areas to answer your question.
Yeah.
So like you correctly pointed out, one of the biggest areas that we are seeing impact is in treatment planning. Our AI helps predict tooth movements as they are in planning, informing the orthodontist and the treatment planning orthodontist that a certain movement is how likely is a certain movement able to achieve a given outcome. And based on that, they're given patterns, they're given options, and the best recommendation is made in terms of how a certain treatment should be planned. So this design, it's built right from the planning phase, which then in the delivery phase, it cuts down on refinements. This means, again, for the patient, they're likely to finish on time and with fewer surprises. Like I was sharing before, remote monitoring is another aspect where we are using AI to manage cases remotely. We track progress in real time doing 2D to 3D overlay and to see how much our treatment is on track or off track. What is the driving reason behind it? And how much is it off from the plan? And if it is within the parameters of the rescue aligner, it is the AI flags the case for a rescue, which again, helps save practices time in unplanned appointments and patients just inconvenience in terms of these visits that they were never planning to do. So that's the second aspect. And this last thing I really want to also talk about, which is a lot of times orthodontists and orthodontics is viewed as a one and done. It's viewed as a one-time procedure as opposed to a lifetime procedure.
Yeah.
This is where we really want to break the paradigm. So even after the treatment wraps up, we use AI to track compliance and suggest retention strategies to keep the outcome stable because, teeth can relapse. I don't know if you've been to an aligner treatment. A high majority of people relapse.
Yes, I know
you forget
that.
to wear the retainers.
Yeah.
So it's our AI helps prevent you from doing that. So just to bring it all together, AI helps us deliver a smarter, smoother treatment experience for both the doctor and the patient. And, this is really where the magic is happening.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, looking ahead, what role do you see OrthoFX playing in kind of reshaping the business model for orthodontic practices? Are we moving toward a fundamentally different way of delivering care then?
I love that question because it's my passion and my natural state to think about how things will be, and it's like that blue sky thinking, as in like how exciting a future would be, is something that I spend a lot of time on, especially as it relates to orthodontics. So my belief is that the future of orthodontics won't be defined by more aligner products. Instead, it will be defined by smarter systems that does um, a few things. One, it should expand access to care. Because even today, a high majority, 192 million people in the US could benefit from an orthodontic treatment, and only a small fraction, a very small fraction, is seeking treatment. So expanding access is a very important, it's an important imperative for the industry as you think about it forward.
Yeah.
Outcomes need to improve, and outcomes need to improve with as they had planned, as opposed to, here's a reboot, here's a surprise. It needs to be a seamless outcome, like you are driving a car from point A to point B. You're never worrying about the car breaking down. As opposed to the aligner journey where you're programming your mind to say, okay, it's supposed to break down 3 times. And if it only breaks down 2 times, that's victory. No, that's not the paradigm. That's you have some PTSD or abuse by the existing paradigm in the industry, and we want to change that. And we want to give doctors more control and flexibility in how they practice. So at OrthoFX, we are building that system. Our vision is to really build the next generation orthodontic platform that connects innovative materials. This is like, at the very core of our innovation pipeline. It starts with the polymer because that's the force delivering mechanism. Remote monitoring because treatments happen in patients' homes. Yeah. We want to offer flexible care models and collaborative workflows. So if I could get a little more time, I could want to double click on a couple of those points there. So it starts like, let me start with the polymer. It starts with a technology like AirFlex. This is our FDA-cleared polymer that delivers predictable results in 9 to 12 with 50% less wear time. Okay. That shorter achievable wear time dramatically improves compliance for patients. Suddenly people are more likely to wear the aligner and get to the outcome that they wanted at the date that they wanted to be done with, and with a high quality result. So that's the polymer itself. Then there's FXOnTrack. This is where we are helping the patient stay on track, and with AI powered monitoring, which helps them being on track between visits. And if they're going off track, of course, as we talked about, there's rescue aligners. You don't need to reset the plan, remake these aligners, reship it to the patient. You can just use this technology and then go on to the very next aligner that you have on your shelf, as opposed to the paradigm today, which involves multiple visits, 8+ weeks of wasted time, and almost 20% more aligners. So this is all kind of like the treatment journey. And then we talked about like the post-treatment journey also with our support for retention strategies. One of the things that we have been working on is a platform called FX Collab, where we are really expanding this vision further. Okay. This platform enables orthodontists to partner more closely with general dentists through a shared platform. So the platform is designed to, it breaks down the barriers in the traditional referral model. There's a lot of friction, and there's a lot of patient loss as that process is entirely analog. Right. So this platform allows GPs and orthodontists to co-manage cases, share treatment responsibilities, and keep patients in network. So it's a win-win if you think about it, Allison. Orthodontists are expanding their reach without adding overhead. Patients are getting access to specialist-driven care without the friction. So yes, we are indeed moving towards a fundamentally different way of delivering care. I want to say it's one that is connected, patient-centric, and practice-powered. We are not just building an aligner system. We are not just in that business. Yes, we do that. We are here to shape an entirely new infrastructure for modern orthodontics. And my sincere wish is that more practitioners join us on this journey, because this is the way of the future. Where the future is collaboration, and where the future is expanding access to care, where the future is leveraging more technology to essentially make the practice of orthodontics more accessible to a lot more people than it is available to today.
Well, Ren, thank you so much for speaking with me. If someone wants to learn more about what OrthoFX kind of has going on and what's in the pipeline, where should they reach out?
Well, first of all, thank you so much for having me, Alison. I really enjoyed the chat and for the thoughtful questions. We are the best way to reach us is through our website, www.orthofx.com. And if you're a provider, there's an option to say become a provider. Just click that link, and we would love to talk to you and share what we've built.
Great. Well, thank you again, Ren. It's been great. As always, thank you for joining us. Be sure to subscribe to the Orthodontic Products Podcast to keep up with the latest episodes. And be sure to check out orthodonticproductsonline.com to keep up with the latest industry news. Until next time, take care.